welcome back to the second hour. Fire your MD now. You want to be an insider? You should be. Become a Fire Your MD Now insider. Please visit the website. Click on the online health recovery subscription. Join us. $20 a month, $195 a year. Gain instant access to over 80 hours of archived webinars, 4 hours of live chat stuff, webinars a week. I mean, we got it going on here, man. Because just like the caller from California, people are suffering needlessly. And these people are going to kill you if you let them. Don't believe me? Leading cause of death in the United States, 780,000 people a year. MD-directed medical treatments. For goodness sake, Vioxx, one drug, killed 500,000 people. And nobody went to jail. And I'm the quack. You got to give me a break. I think we've got Jan back from Texas. I'm going to give that another try. Hey, Jan from Texas, are you there?
I am here. It's Janice in Frisco, Texas, and I am a Dr. Glidden insider.
You go, girl.
For any distributors out there, it is the best $20 you'll spend every month to help people build your business. It's the best. And I am calling. I have a great testimony on longevity. I've been on the products for a couple of years, and I've lost 60 pounds, and I never catch colds or get sick anymore, and I don't have lower back pain. I don't have bone spurs. I could give you a zillion symptoms I no longer have, but I am so excited about something that we recently realized. I had breast cancer like 22 years ago, and I had not a bad case of lymphedema, but I've had lymphedema, the swelling in my arm, because I took lymph nodes out.
Right.
And, they pretty much tell you you're sorry out of luck,
Right. Right.
You can do the Job sleeve, you can do expensive massage therapy, but that's about it. Well, I upped my selenium about 6-7 months ago, and my husband looked at my arm the other day, and he said, your arms are almost identical now. And we had an epiphany that several months ago we had listened to a CD by Dr. Gerhard Schrautzer called the Schrautzer Files on Selenium. And he talked about that in that CD, that selenium supplementation will actually reduce the inflammation of lymphedema. And I am here to tell you that it worked for me.
Unbelievably awesome sauce. I mean that demands. And I mean, that's just really great. And so have you been back to the MDs since the lymphedema's gone?
No, I don't. I don't go back to them. No.
Yeah. All right. Smart girl. But I'm going to tell you what would happen if you did. They would brush it off. They wouldn't give you a reason for it. And the last thing that they would do is call myself up or call Gerhard Schrautzer up or call Dr. Wallach up and say, hey, what's the deal with this stuff? I know that you guys are licensed physicians. I know that Schrautzer, you're a PhD who's done tremendous work with trace mineral research. I didn't get any nutritional training as a doctor. Give me a clue as to what's going on. I'm still waiting for the first MD to give me that call, even though I've helped thousands of their patients who are now my patients to become healthy. And this is the point I cannot drive home enough. People just don't get it. People don't want to understand it. People don't want to just wrap their brains around the idea that their MD is a closed-minded, conservative, cowardly, intellectually stunted individual, because they are not concerned with how to help you heal your body. If they were concerned with how to help you heal your body, they'd be calling us up all the time. You've heard the testimonials. For goodness sake, you are a testimonial.
You know what else I want to say is don't give up on those people that are stubbornly resistant, because I'm embarrassed to say, Dr. Glidden, I first heard Dr. Wallach on Alex's show, and when I heard it, it just really resonated with me. I've had so many MDs tell me that supplementation just produced expensive urine, and when I had supplemented myself before, I didn't buy good quality supplements, so I never felt the difference. And I just logged into my profile the other day, and I had actually enrolled in January of 2011 after I heard Doc.
Yep.
But I didn't place that first order until May.
Yeah.
Because I just had to keep hearing that message. I had to listen to the radio shows, and I just had to have it sink in. But don't give up on those people that the first time they hear dead doctors don't lie, they say no.
I have a... well, listen, we don't give up on people. That's why, I mean, if I gave up on people, I wouldn't have this radio show, right? Because
I don't mean you, but I'm just talking about.
Well, no. I'm not taking this the wrong way. I get what you're saying, and so let me add one into the bargain, okay? So I'm a naturopathic doctor. I've been a naturopathic doctor since 1991. I got my doctoral degree from Naturopathic Medical School in 1991, May of 1991. And back then, it was a very small naturopathic medical community. Everybody knew everybody. There's maybe 800 naturopathic doctors in the whole world. Now there's over 4,000. But back in the day, it was a small group of individuals. I knew Dr. Wallach back in the day. And guess what? 2 years out of medical school, I'm at my practice in Massachusetts. I had a medical consultation practice because you can't be a naturopathic physician in Massachusetts. You can do consultations, but you can't be a doctor in Massachusetts unless you have an MD after your name. That's a whole nother rant. But in any event, I'm a couple of years into my health consultation practice in Massachusetts on Cape Cod, and guess what I get in the mail? A Dead Doctors Don't Lie CD. I never listened to it. I never, ever listened to it. The first time I heard Dead Doctors Don't Lie, I heard the lecture, was 5 years ago when I met Dr. Wallach at a conference again. We'd always known each other and said hi to each other. But for some reason, 5 years ago, I actually was ready to listen to what Dr. Wallach had to say. And so, I myself am an example of pig-headed stubbornness and intractability. And this is the deal, right? I mean, this is a good thing to talk about on the air because it's just human nature. It's the way that it is. And so this is why, because human beings are like this, this is why Dr. Wallach does 300 free lectures a year. This is why Dr. Glidden does, 30, 35, 40 free lectures a year. This is why I do 4 hours of live webinars a week. This is why I do 10 hours of live radio a week. Because the human condition is such that people are stubborn and dug in to their beliefs. And in order to get motion there, you have to show it to them, show it to them, show it to them, show it to them. And remember the old parable, right? The sower had good seed. Some fell on rocky ground, some the birds got, some got choked out by the weeds, right? This is the way that it is. You got to show this message to 10 people to get one. So let's all, as a collective longevity community, just take a big breath in and a big breath out. Pun intended, because I am having a lung health webinar tonight. And understand that it's not us. It's human nature. So if you talk to people and you get the door slammed in your face, just keep talking to people. Because sooner or later, guess what? You're going to meet a Jan from Texas. Sooner or later, guess what? You're going to meet an Ashley from Seattle. Sooner or later, guess what? You're going to meet an Abby from Miami. Sooner or later, guess what? You're going to meet Matt Tokoff from Arizona, and everything's going to change after this. So I really appreciate you, Jan. Keep up the good work down there in Texas. By the way, how hot is it in Texas today?
It's hot. It's okay, though. I used to live in Chicagoland. I used to live in Inverness, and we don't have to shovel anything down here, so I'll deal with the heat.
you take the good with the bad. Keep up the good work, Jan. I appreciate everything that you do. Thanks so much.
God bless you, Dr. Glidden. Thank you so much for everything you do. Bye-bye.
You're welcome. Don't worry. I'm in here for the long haul, girl. How about that, folks? Hey, 2 testimonials. How about that? It must be testimonial day. Got to love it. We've got 2.5 minutes left. We're going to go to South Carolina and talk to Stacy. Hey, Stacy from South Carolina. You are live.
Hi, Dr. Glidden.
How are you?
I'm pretty good. How are you doing?
Very, very, very good. Guess what? I'm going to be in Charlotte, North Carolina, this Saturday.
Oh, really?
Yep, Charlotte, North Carolina, this Saturday. Yeah, 5 o'clock. We're giving a free lecture, free webinar. It should be listed, if it's not already, by the end of business today, it'll be listed on my website at fireyourmdnow.com in the events section. Charlotte, North Carolina, this Saturday, folks. Charlotte, North Carolina, this Saturday. But that's not why you called. Stacy, how are you, and what can I do for you?
I'm doing good. I'm actually calling about my mom. She's having some health issues. She's having some memory loss, confusion, insomnia. She does repetitive activities over and over. She's got some swelling in her ankles. She has vocal tics. She just says, like, here, here, here.
Yeah.
She's had some blood work done lately, and they said her cholesterol was high and was wanting to put her on cholesterol medication.
Yeah. Unbelievable,
yeah.
Right? Now, how old is her?
She's 70.
70 years old. And so while she's been under the MD's care, while she's been spending money, hard-earned money, on medical insurance premiums every month her entire life, while she's having money taken from her paycheck to pay for medical insurance every month, she's gotten worse and worse and worse and worse and worse, and now she has dementia and all this crazy stuff. Thank you very much, bus driver MD, right? I mean, this is the way that it goes. She's been under their care. While she's been under their care, look at what's happened to her.
Yeah, they took her to Duke. My sister, I'm meaning by they, took her to Duke University, and they haven't been able to diagnose her with Alzheimer's, but that's what everybody's kind of thinking because of the way she's acting. But
well, you can't diagnose Alzheimer's until death.
Until she's deceased.
Yeah, you can only do a definitive Alzheimer's diagnosis if you cut the brain open and say, oh, yeah, that was Alzheimer's. We're not going to go there. Stick around, Stacy from South Carolina. I'm here to help your mother when we come back after these words. Welcome back, everybody. Dr. Peter Glidden here, your steadfast advocate for health, August 15th, 2013. We are talking to Stacy from South Carolina. Stacy, are you still with me?
Yes, I am.
All right. So, there are many different types of dementias, and again, the MDs love to categorize and name things and pigeonhole things, but they've got nothing for it. I mean, well, what difference does it make if it's Alzheimer's or if it's Sundowner syndrome or whatever, because they got nothing for it, right? So what the hell? Yeah. So what we do every time, regardless of what the diagnosis is give the body the proper nutrients it needs to support and promote its structure and function. Because our fundamental belief, which is different than the MD's belief, and philosophy is everything in this regard, that our fundamental belief is that the human body knows how to fix itself, the human body wants to fix itself, and given the right circumstances, the human body can fix itself. So all that we do is counsel people to stop eating food that's gumming up the works, increase their consumption of the essential nutrients in good recipes appropriate for their body health, and then as a general health consensus, and then give extra support to different organ systems as necessary. So, this is certainly a brain and central nervous system thing. So to support and promote the structure and function of the central nervous system, the recommendation here would be one healthy brain and heart pack. One healthy brain and heart pack. How much does your mom weigh, by the way, Stace?
130.
All right. So do one healthy brain and heart pack, 4 bottles of selenium, and 1 bottle of de-stress. 1 bottle of de-stress. That's D like David stress. 1 de-stress, 4 selenium, and 1 healthy brain and heart pack. Now, if there's money left over in the budget after that, then do 2 or 3 boxes of triple treat chocolate. How about that? That's a horrible prescription, right? 2 or 3 boxes, of triple treat chocolate. And a diet that's high in cholesterol, because cholesterol is her friend here. The brain is made from cholesterol. Over 75% of the part of the brain is cholesterol. Of the part of the brain that's affected by Alzheimer's, 95% is cholesterol. And if you look at the relationship historically between Alzheimer's and the world, right, the incidence of Alzheimer's, it spiked in the mid-'80s. it took off like a wildfire in the mid-'80s. Before that, it was nothing, and then boom, in the mid-'80s. Since the mid-'80s, Alzheimer's has skyrocketed, and the only difference was that was the same time that statin drugs were introduced. And what do statin drugs do? They lower cholesterol levels. So when you lower somebody's cholesterol levels with statin drugs and fat-free diets and exercise, you dry the brain up and you get Alzheimer's. That's why we believe Alzheimer's is a physician-created disease. So under no circumstances should she go on a statin drug.
Yeah. The doctor said she also had elevated protein in her urine.
Yeah, protein in the urine, that's caused by funky liver. And also, that's interesting because the swelling that she has in her legs, right? She's got swelling in her legs.
Mm-hmm, in her ankles.
Yeah, that's caused by not enough protein in the blood. So what's happening here is her body is excreting protein before it can absorb it. And that means she has a kidney problem. So I'm going to change the recommendation from the de-stress to the ultimate daily capsules. So instead of the de-stress, get 1 bottle of ultimate daily capsules. 1 bottle of ultimate daily capsules. And make sure your mom is salting her food so that it tastes good with salt that's been iodized. Himalayan salt or Celtic sea salt is better than table salt, but I only want her to get it if it's iodized. If she can't find the fancy schmancy salt that's been iodized, just have her use the table salt that's been iodized. She shouldn't be afraid of salt. Nobody should be. And make sure that 50% of the food that she eats is protein, because she's wasting protein. She needs to have more protein in the blood, in her body, and you'll know that she's got more protein, that she's assimilating more protein once the swelling in the legs stop. And I've seen people
come. A protein shake every day, a whey protein shake, and mix her vitamins in it. And
yeah, okay. So the vitamins. Are you giving her longevity stuff now?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So when it comes to longevity, we need to do the right stuff in the right amounts, right?
Yeah.
So to support and promote her overall health, she needs the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack, because that's got a lot of EFAs in it, and that's really good for the central nervous system. And I think there's a bottle of Ultimate Daily Capsules in there anyway, so you won't need an extra one. And so the only add-ons here would be selenium and the chocolate, and a diet that's very high in cholesterol. I mean, have her eat 4, 5, 6 eggs a day with butter and salt, right? Don't be afraid of cholesterol. Keep your fingers crossed and see what happens. Thanks so much for the call, Stacy. Remember, folks, I'm going to be in North Carolina this Saturday. Please visit my website, fireyourmdnow.com. Yeah, I want to get away from the MDs as quickly as is possible. You know where I'd like to go? I'd like to go to Texas, because down there they've got spurs that jingle, jangle, jingle. Hey, Shannon from Texas, what's going on?
Hey, Dr. Glidden, I have some follow-up questions.
Okay, all right, I'm sitting down. You go, girl.
Okay. Well, first, let me tell you this. For the first time, I've had lots of people cancel their own surgery to try to use longevity to fix their problems. But this is the first time this past week a lady called me from Oklahoma City. She's been on just a Healthy Start Pack plus glucogel for 3 months. She's 65 years old. She got rid of her cane after a week with longevity. Went back to her doctor, didn't tell him what she'd been doing. The doctor x-rayed her knee and came out and said, I don't know what you're doing, but we're canceling your knee replacement surgery.
Hold on. Here we go. Yeah. That's how we do it here. Good job, Shannon. Very, very good. I mean, isn't it great? I mean, and isn't it just crazy that we have to get this message through a grassroots coalition because the MDs are so bad at what they do? And if you were a doctor and, you'd devoted 12 years of your life, and God only knows how many hundreds of thousands of dollars to your medical education, and you take the Hippocratic Oath, and you swear to help end human suffering, and you have a patient that had knee problems before, they come back in, you have evidence, before and after evidence, that holy smokes, it's not there anymore, we don't need to do any more surgery. Wouldn't you want to know what they did?
Exactly, yeah.
I know. It's very eye-opening to people when we really drill it down. Again, ladies and gentlemen, I don't, I'm not a name caller. I don't criticize people. I just describe what they do. And with the MDs, it's the gift that keeps on giving. But I digress, Shannon. How can I help?
Okay. So I called you a couple of weeks ago about the lady who had rheumatoid for 15 years, and I told you she's been on products of Healthy Bone and Joint Pack, Killer Biotic, Fucoid Z, CM Gel Cap. Basically, she's no stop. She'll do whatever it takes. She's trying. Been about 30 days, and she's just not having results. She's having a little bit. You asked me if she's focused on the arthritis and not looking at other things. She said she does think that her energy is a little bit better and she's sleeping a little bit better, but the swelling in her hands and feet is not going down. Her pain is increased, but she also at the same time quit her chemo medicine.
Yeah.
But you asked me to double her OsteoFX and see what results that would have. She is having like water diarrhea. She has gone gluten-free now completely, but it's major diarrhea now.
Okay, and is it the Cal-Toddy or the OsteoFX that she's taking?
OsteoFX.
Okay, good. All right, so here's the problem. The only time that medical nutrition doesn't work in a timely fashion, and certain 90 days is enough time to see a resolution, not 100%, but traction in the positive change of an arthritic condition. I don't care if it's rheumatoid arthritis or osteoarthritis. 90 days is enough time to see movement in the symptomology. Now, if she didn't get any movement from the symptomology, and she's been good with the discipline, it sounds like she has been, and then she increases the calcium, and the increased calcium dose gives runny stools, diarrhea. I mean, there's only one thing that causes that. It's malabsorption. So her malabsorption, her small intestine's ability to absorb nutrients is bad. I mean, it's bad. It's bad. And that's why she hasn't gotten any traction in 90 days, except a little bit of improvements here and there, middly-piddly stuff, but really the joints there's no traction.
She's just been 30 days. I'm sorry, just 30 days. But she did not go gluten-free. But now she's listened to serial killers, and she is going gluten-free.
Okay, so that's very important, number one. But number two, right, it sounds like she's a little impatient here and she needs to see something. And I can understand that. So what's her body weight?
About 140.
All right. So here's what I'd like to do. Here's what I would recommend. If she can do this. This isn't the easiest thing in the world to do, but see if she can do it.
Okay.
So I want her to do 4 ounces of the white liquid calcium a day. 4 ounces of the white liquid calcium for 2 weeks. But here's how I want her to do it. I want her to do half an ounce 8 times a day. I want her to do half an ounce of the white liquid calcium in a little bit of orange juice 8 times a day, every 2 hours. Have her do half an ounce of the white liquid calcium and a little bit of orange juice. If she's okay with orange juice, some people don't like it, gives them an upset stomach. But if she can tolerate orange juice, then we're good to go. Do you have her on the Z-Radical?
She's not, but she is doing Fucoid Z 2 a day. She asked for more capsules than liquid.
Okay, all right, that's good. So have her do half an ounce of the white liquid calcium in a little bit of orange juice or water 8 times a day. And have her do that for 2 weeks and look to see what happens. Now, but before we do that, I want her to stop the calcium completely for 24 hours. Just stop it completely. Don't have her take any of the calcium for 24 hours to let the gut calm down, because chronic diarrhea, that's no fun. And it's the extra calcium that's causing that. Well, it's not the extra calcium that's causing it. It's her body's inability to absorb the extra calcium. It's not because there's anything problematic with the calcium. It's because her gut can't absorb it. So she really is going to see a remarkable difference when she goes gluten-free, number one. And number two, if we can slide the calcium in a more consistent dosage at a higher level, she'll be able to absorb it more efficiently and not get diarrhea. So now, if a half an ounce 8 times a day gives her diarrhea, then I don't know what we're going to do. The only other thing that we can do then would be just to go back to the original dose and just have her wait. Because if it's only been 30 days, then this is really just a function of time here. But, of course, being gluten-free and messing around with the dosage of the calcium can make a big difference here. That makes sense, right?
Yes, I have another one.
Okay, shoot.
Okay. I have a little boy in Michigan he's 4 years old now. When I met his family, he had severe tremors, was really high on the autism scale, they believe due to vaccinations when he was 6 or 7 months old. He had been doing a detox with a holistic doctor, but just not supplementing. For the past 6 months, he's been on, so his mom's transitioning, but slowly, so she does some longevity, some other stuff. From longevity, she's been on 1 scoop of BTT, 1 selenium, and 1 tablespoon of cherry mints a day. For EFAs, she's been taking just a teaspoon of cod liver oil. He is taking an enzyme and a probiotic from another company. So, but they've stalled out. He's still having some stimming. Most of it's gone away. But he's gluten-free. He's sugar-free. He's dairy-free. She's very serious about that, but just not seeing the improvements in his brain development. He is also very fixated. He gets real fixated on things, and if his routine is changed and that kind of stuff. So what should we add for him?
Well, the Healthy Start Pack in toto. And the cod liver oil is contraindicated here because cod liver oil comes in a bottle.
Right.
And cod liver oil or any oil in a bottle is oxidized after a time. And so she's actually potentially delivering free radicals to his body, which is going to mess things up because she's giving him cod liver oil. Mm-hmm. So you might want to give her send her a link to the video that I did on, Where's the Fire, all about antioxidants and how that works. Because what's necessary here is to give the child essential fatty acids because his brain needs them. But Youngevity's essential fatty acids are in a gel cap that was inoculated, or the oil, the fish oil, was injected into the gelatin cap in a nitrogen chamber so that if any gas gets in there, it's nitrogen and not oxygen, so it's unoxidized. So, and that's Dr. Wallach driving the bus, right? So Youngevity's EFAs only oxidize once they're in your system. So it's much better. She needs to stop the cod liver oil, and she needs to give the child all 90 essential nutrients, not just the calcium and the minerals, right? So, you got to enroll her in the full Monty here, and you might get traction in that regard by letting her listen to the Where's the Fire video, or just bringing her to an Introduction to Youngevity webinar, because one of the things that I impress upon new people in the Monday night introductions is the necessity for a holistic nutritional bang rather than just a piecemeal effort. Now, of course, the other thing for this child is a diet that's high in cholesterol, right?
Yeah.
So eggs and butter, eggs and butter, eggs and butter, salt. Eggs and butter, eggs and butter, eggs and butter, salt, whole milk, whole full-fat yogurt, full-fat milk, hamburger, medium rare, steak,
so we're
medium
not so
rare.
worried about dairy. Like, she's keeping him dairy. She's trying to keep him dairy-free as well.
Well, there's a lot of ways to get cholesterol besides dairy, and eggs aren't dairy, right? Eggs are in the dairy section at the supermarket. Everybody gets this confused, but dairy products come from a cow. Mm-hmm. So there's other ways to get cholesterol. Now, some kids with behavioral problems do, in fact, have a demonstrable negative reaction to milk or milk products. So if she feeds the kid milk and within 30 minutes his behavior has, tanked, he gets really, really aggressive or really, really spacey, and it's a noticeable change, then he shouldn't have milk. But notwithstanding that, he can do chicken with the skin, turkey with the skin, steak, hamburger, eggs, butter, right? No problem at all.
Okay.
All right.
And I forgot my other question about that. So for the EFAs, if he can't swallow the pill, she can squeeze out the regular EFA, or should they do the multi-EFA, the smaller one, if he can swallow it, or what do you recommend specifically, which product?
Well, he's already taking cod liver oil in a spoon, so all that she'll need to do is get one of the EFA Plus capsules, pierce it with a needle or a pin, and squeeze the oil out into a spoon. Or some kids, interestingly enough, and I never would have thought about this, talk about not knowing what you don't know, but I've had a number of longevity parents tell me that they just give their kids the EFAs, they pop them in their mouth and chew on them, because the kids like to pop the little capsules in their mouth, and then they chew up the gelatin capsule. It's like gum, and then they think it's the greatest thing in the world. So that's another possibility there, right?
Is there any, this is segueing to something else, but is there any concern with someone who, I have someone who all of their symptoms fall under one of the 4 categories, but one glitch is they have donated a kidney to a family member, so they just have one kidney. It's healthy. They don't have any problems with their kidney, but they just wanted to make sure I check with you that there's nothing extra or any special precautions they should take with the Healthy Start Pack.
Excellent question, and the resounding answer is no. As a matter of fact, the one remaining kidney will have a better chance of functioning optimally if the body has all 90 essential nutrients. Excellent questions, Shannon. You're doing all the right stuff down there in Texas. Keep up the good work. Final segment of the second hour. Today on August 15th, 2012. By the way, you can catch the live video feed of these radio programs every day now by just going to my website, fireyourmdnow.com. Click on the radio tab, and there it is. Tonight's webinar for Fire Your MD Now Insiders, Lung Health, 8 o'clock Central Time. Looking forward to seeing you there. We're going to finish it out today with Andrew up there in Alberta, Canada. Hey, Andrew. What's going on, eh?
Hey, Dr. Glidden. I just had a class reunion a week or so ago here, and one of my friends that I've known since kindergarten told me that he's got a leaky heart valve.
Yeah.
Apparently he was born with it, and he had it replaced when he was 4.
Oh.
And he's going to have it replaced again, and I was just hoping there was some more advice that I could give him without having surgery.
Well, yeah, I mean, if he was born with it, right, then that's the birth defect. And that was caused by not enough nutrients in the blood of the mother. Probably a selenium deficiency, if I had to guess. But Dr. Wallach would know specifically what nutrients it was that was the culprit there. But that's a birth defect. So, again, this is one of the rare cases where surgery when it's necessary is very, very helpful, right? Surgery when it's necessary, very, very helpful, right? So thank God that the surgeons were able to intervene here and put a little fake valve in the little baby's chest, and life is good. Now, we could make the argument, was it necessary, was it not necessary? I don't know. But I'm not going to go there, right? So we can't go back in time. I'm not Doctor Who, not yet. Can't go back in time. But what we can do is give his body nutritional support so that he can optimize the function of his organs, including the heart and including the valve. Now, if it was a pig valve, right, that's one thing. If it's an artificial man-made valve, that's an entirely different thing. But nonetheless, everybody needs the 90 essential nutrients. I mean, everybody needs the 90 essential nutrients. And in his case, since he's looking at open heart surgery, potentially, it's much better. It's much better if you had to run a marathon. If you had to, right? If someone held a gun to your head and say, Andrew, look, you're going to run these 25.5 miles, or I'm going to shoot you in the head. All right, you're going to run the marathon. It would be much better under those circumstances to train for the marathon first before you ran it, right? I mean, if you just jump out of bed cold and try to run that many miles, you're going to die. I mean, it's going to be very, very difficult to do that. So when somebody has to go under the knife, and sometimes you do, I mean, it's a million times better and easier to handle the stress of the surgery, especially if it's open heart surgery, for goodness sake, if your body's nutrified and if you've been staying away from the 10 bad foods, right? So the recommendation here would be one healthy brain and heart pack per 100 pounds of body weight per month. Of course, I prefer the 2.0 stuff, right, the 2.0, because it's better. One healthy brain and heart pack 2.0 per 100 pounds of body weight per month. One bottle of selenium per 50 pounds of body weight per month. And glucogel. Want to give him the glucogel sufficient to the cause here, and we dose that at one bottle of liquid glucogel plus per 50 pounds of body weight per month, or one capsule of the glucogel caps, one cap, per 10 pounds of body weight per day. So if he's 200 pounds, he needs 20 glucogel a day. That's 600 a month. You'd have to figure out how many bottles to buy to meet that need. Otherwise, just fall back to the liquid glucogel plus one bottle per 50 pounds of body weight per month. So, right, what we're trying to do here is support and promote the structure and function of the cardiovascular system, and into the bargain, give his entire body support, nutritional support, because everything's connected. And he's going to need to have a strong system if he really does need to have heart surgery. But if it were me, man, I would do this for 6 months. 6 months, and then have another checkup and see whether or not the valve is still funky. You might get lucky. You're never going to know unless you try. And also, Andrew, don't neglect the importance of the diet. He must eliminate the 10 bad foods if he expects to get some type of purchase from this program. Thanks for everything that you do, man. Thanks for looking out for your friends. Thanks for looking out for the members of your community. And that's how we roll here in Longevity Land, folks. I'll see you all at tonight's webinar. Dr. Glidden, over and out.